Is it too late to enter these altcoins? Oh man, so Fantom is up over 120% since the turn of the new year, but that is dwarfed by Aptos, which is up over 350% since the turn of the new year. We've got the Fantom Quantum Miami conference kicking off today for the next 3 days, which could be a huge catalyst for price action. In this video, I'm going to break down Bitcoin, Aptos, Fantom, and a lot more. Plus, I will be watching the Quantum Miami conference virtually and sharing updates as and when. So make sure the notification bell is on, smash up the likes, don't forget to subscribe. Let's get straight into this one. I'm going to start off with Aptos because a lot of you guys have started asking me about Aptos, and it's no surprise because the price action has gone absolutely insane, and that's when it perks the attention of everybody. Let's take this measured move from the start of the new year. We're sitting at 380% up here on Aptos. Insane. Up 28% today. And it's got a lot of people wondering what is going on and should I be invested in this project? Now, for those who aren't familiar, Aptos is a spin-off from the failed Facebook project to do with DM and Libra. Those guys spun out away from Meta Facebook and decided to build Aptos and Sui, which is another layer 1 solution that's coming out as well. So both of these have had interesting attention, but here's the interesting thing. I can't find a person. I tweeted this out. So I've been tweeting this out, been talking about it in Telegram, and I can't find any normal person that's interested in Aptos. Nobody is talking about it. Here in this community, we've got people who love Fantom, we've got people who love Algorand, we've got people who love various different projects. I can't find a group of people that care about Aptos. Where are they? And the other interesting thing is we know that Aptos are working very closely with Web 2 companies such as Google. They want to unite, their whole principle is they want to unite Web 2 and Web 3. Right? We know that their failed Facebook project, does Zuckerberg still have his tentacles connected? And he just wants to do it completely separate from Meta so it doesn't cause problems with regulators. Aptos position themselves as a Solana killer. They want to boast high levels of transactions per second and throughput. They think they've solved the blockchain trilemma like every new layer 1 solution has. But there are many, many failings, right? There are many failings, including the fact that the market cap is insane right now. We're talking a market cap on Aptos of $2.2 billion with fully diluted sitting at 14 billion. Okay, so just 15.6% of the tokens are in circulating supply. Now, we know in late 2023 there's going to be a bunch of vesting cliffs and then some in 2024 as well. So there's a lot of things to be worried about. If you want me to do a detailed breakdown on Aptos, let me know in the comments, but I don't think there's many people interested. This is going to be an interesting view to see. Do people actually care, or is this just VC money? We know FTX invested. We know 3 Arrows Capital originally invested. We know Binance jumped in on it as well. We know they're working closely with Google. Obviously, they'll still have their ties with Facebook as well. And it just seems like one of those which is being pumped and manipulated by heavy VC money. I can't find an organic community that's backing Aptos. If you're there and you disagree, let me know in the comments so I can find and have a conversation with you guys to understand why you're so bullish on this project. But the price action has been insane, and if you drop this down to the hourly chart, for those who are doing technical analysis, we tweeted this and we put it in our Telegram group as well. It broke the trend at the top line, beat the higher high, and it went on its next leg. So congratulations if you managed to trade that. Now let's spend some time here on Fantom before jumping on to the Bitcoin chart and talking about Quantum Miami. So Fantom, as you can see, nice extended move. We got to our important horizontal line at 38 cents, mounted an attack and got rejected at 42 cents. Came back down for support at 38, managed to build some strength. This is now a very important level, guys. You can see we've just had a very strong hourly candle being printed right now. We're up 10% on the day, heading into Quantum Miami, which is just hours away right now. And if we do not manage to break through this neckline, we will start to lose steam. And that's going to be a problem, guys, because you can almost draw a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern, okay? So you're going to be creating something like this if we get rejected. And that could be a move back down to the downside. And we could be looking for a dump scenario, bringing you back to that 34 cents mark. So be very, very careful. If you've made it this far into the video and you someday want to be able to read the markets, do technical analysis, trade as we are doing on this channel, then perhaps you may want to check out my free technical analysis from scratch course over on Skillshare. For those who aren't familiar, Skillshare is an online education platform. You sign up for a nominal amount each month and you get access to a wide variety of different courses. I personally use it to learn all sorts of things, from video editing to financial to using Excel and various other bits and pieces that you may want to learn. It's far better than YouTube on those elements, because on YouTube everything is about retention, whereas with a course you can put things in a structured curriculum, and that is exactly what I've done with my TA course. It's completely free for the first 30 days if you click the link in the description, ijaz.uk/TA, to take advantage of the TA course. Let me know what you think about it, and let's get back into this video. I made a lot of videos in the lead up to Quantum Miami, or any event, right? Any event. Remember, we covered Fantom Developers Conference back in 2021, and I was making videos saying to you guys, watch out, right? Watch out of buy the rumor, sell the news. It's very normal when you have a binary event like a conference or an upgrade or like, you know, ETH 2.0 and things like that, where you get a lot of excitement, a lot of euphoria, bidding the price up. And then when the event happens, you just kind of curl over and it's a bit of an anti-climax. So be very, very careful if you're trading this through the event, because there'll be a lot of other traders looking to dump price action when you get to a bit of a climax, right? They're trying to wait for it to get to a peak and then dump off. But there could be a lot of roller coaster still happening because it's a 3-day conference and a lot is going on the agenda. Now, I will be covering off the event. I will be watching it virtually, but I will be making videos on any important aspects. So make sure your notification bell is on. I will be jumping onto a quick video anytime there's anything important made. For the smaller in-between updates, make sure you follow me on Twitter at RealIjaz1, and make sure you're in the free Telegram group as well. That's where I do the minute-by-minute updates. If there's something really critical, I'll make a video on it. So it kicks off 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then you've got some important events happening today, right? So the main things really today is you've got CEO of Fantom, Michael Kong, doing a roundtable with the head of marketing, Juan, and Simone Pompeo. So we've had Simone and Michael Kong on the channel doing long form interviews, so definitely go check those out if you haven't. They're very interesting people. I'll be looking forward to this panel as well. And then obviously over the next couple of days you will have the likes of Andre Cronje speaking, and you have Harry Yeh as well. So definitely go onto the website, check out the agenda. You can get an idea of who is speaking and what it means in terms of how it can move price action. Now, it's important to note, guys, even though these guys are speaking, Andre Cronje did tweet out to say, guys, there is no major announcement. But obviously the FOMO will still kick in. So be very careful. If you're holding long-term portfolios of Fantom like I am, absolutely not a concern. If you're trading it, be very, very careful. A lot of people expect there to be an announcement and they buy the token in the excitement of there being an announcement. Andre Cronje has made it very clear there is no major announcement. It's just going to be business as usual stuff. So please, please, please be very careful. Now, let's jump on to what we can expect here on the price action. And if we do break this level, it could be a nice bullish move. We've had a period of consolidation and we could expect a move back up to some exciting levels here on Fantom. I mean, if we bring out the EMA ribbon, let's bring out this hourly EMA ribbon. You can see exactly why we're getting this bounce where we are right now, right? You can see it's bouncing off the EMA ribbon. We did lose it for a little bit here, and then the volume came back in to push us to the upside. Let's check out the 4-hourly chart, and you can see on the 4-hourly, we never actually lost our EMA ribbon. This is why it's so important that you've got to zoom up on timescales. Sometimes when you're focused on the hourly, it's like, oh, we've lost the trend. But really on the 4-hourly, it's just a nice consolidation. It collected support from the horizontal line, and now it needs to post a higher high. If it doesn't, then we get worried about a sideways action / falling to the downside, because at that point, if we don't post a higher high and we do something like this, RSI will be doing something similar. You have a downtrend in RSI, you have a downtrend in price action, okay? So we need to keep an eye closely on that. Let's zoom up one more. Let's take a look at the daily EMA ribbon, and now you can see how crazy the extension is. So even coming down here to 30 cents mark, I know it doesn't sound fun for you lot who want to pump your bags, but it's perfectly fine. You still have a beautiful uptrend here on Fantom ever since the 3rd of January. We've been above our daily EMA ribbon. So even a cool down anywhere here, 34, 33, all the way even down to 30 cents, it's absolutely not an issue in terms of building the long-term trend. I know short-term, that will upset many of you, but just got to be a realist here in terms of the price action. Let's now flick up to the weekly to give you some of the scary news. And this, you know, this links directly into Bitcoin. And this is what I've been saying this whole time. Right now, where we stand, we continue to be in a bear market rally. We are rallying against the trend. We are swimming against the ocean. And we know there continues to be fears in the market, right? Look at the pre-market here on the US. The US markets are down. Nasdaq down 1.3%, S&P down 0.8%, Dow Jones down 0.6%. Microsoft gave poor guidance, right? There's a lot of earnings going on. You've got Netflix after the close. The macroeconomy is not out of the woods just yet. And markets are very tentative. They're almost a bit schizophrenic in how they're having crazy positive days and then crazy negative days as well. You're going to have a lot of this volatility in Q1, Q2. Don't forget, markets are still worried about Jerome Powell. He's speaking in 6 days' time, and the markets have not priced in any room for error. And in fact, it's getting worse and worse. 42%. It's getting closer and closer to 50% of the market expecting a pause. Now, what if Jerome Powell doesn't pause? All of this has to unwind. All of this euphoria and betting on the fact that we could get a pause will have to unwind. And that's going to unwind in red markets, which could cause a little bit of a downturn post FOMC. So this concerns me a little bit if Jerome Powell comes out swinging and the market was hoping for a field day with a pause. So Fantom here running into resistance on its weekly EMA ribbon. I do not turn long-term bullish until we get a close above 52. Now, I know that feels like a long way away from where we're at now, but that is what we need to then flip our weekly EMA ribbon bullish, and then we can get some sideways weekly action and work our way into the next bull cycle. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart, and here on the hourly chart, I just adjusted my pattern here. We were initially in a symmetrical triangle, and we broke to the downside, so now I've adjusted it, and you can see we're forming a descending triangle, and you can see how we're respecting the bottom line here at that 22.5 level. Bitcoin doesn't want to let go of this base here at 22.5. They're trying to turn that into what I like to call scaffolding, right? Holding it as support, very importantly. And you can see that these patterns can be bullish continuation patterns where they continue the trend from which it entered in. If none of this is making sense, ijaz.uk/TA, guys, I've made a course available completely free on Skillshare. Definitely go check that out. Of course, these descending triangles can also be reversal patterns as well. So this can move either direction, guys. We need to keep a close eye on whether it works to the upper bound and tries to break to the upside, or whether it's going to lose to the downside and create the reversal scenario, which you can see by this red line. If we see the reversal scenario, then we're looking at price targets of 22,000 as support. Remember, that is the level we have on the top of our channel. That's a very important level. If we manage to continue, then you can take the measured move, okay? Then you want to take the measured move, something like this, and apply it. Let me just apply that here. And you can put it at the point of the breakup. I'm actually going to be a bit conservative and put it at the bottom of the channel. And you can see this not only breaks us through the 24,000 mark, but can actually give you a price target closer to that $25,000 mark. Here's why that 25K is so significant. Because if you look at the weekly chart here and look at the EMA ribbon, when do we flip this EMA ribbon bullish? 25,700. A close above this EMA ribbon will turn us bullish. Up until then, we have to continue to give the respect to the bears. The bears can still step in at any level here within the EMA ribbon and throw us violently to the downside. Let's look at the previous example we had when we tried to flip from bearish to bullish on our EMA ribbon. It let us even close, and then the next two candles violently throwed us to the downside. We didn't get our confirmation candle. So this is another mistake which we cover off in our TA course, is do never jump in on a single candle. Wait for confirmation. So basic, but so few traders actually do that. If had you waiting for confirmation after the close of this candle, you would have seen a crazy doji candle followed by a big red candle to the downside. Again, we cover this all in the TA course, guys. Please learn it before the next bull run so you're armed with the right tools to trade and enter this market effectively. I mean, how are you going to make profit from this market if you don't understand the language of the market? If these candles aren't telling you a story, how are you going to understand where the price action is heading? So that's really important. One final thing I have to bring to your attention on the weekly chart here for Bitcoin is we are running to the top channel of this falling wedge pattern. We have to be very, very careful. Just like I shared with you there on the weekly EMA ribbon, we will be facing resistance around this level. The first time we touched it at 69, the second time we touched it around the 48,000 mark. You're seeing support coming in from the bottom here. Will we get a violent rejection here and the bears manage to send us further down to retrace? We do need to look out for this level. Conversely, if we can break the structure here, what a huge moment that will be. And that reflects the same thing I was sharing with you of us turning that weekly EMA ribbon bullish again. You can see the weekly EMA ribbon ties in perfectly with a break of this structure, which would set up a nice big move back to the left pivot point, which initially we'd have to work to 25, break through that, and then you're looking at this point here, up at 48,000. So things can move quickly, but we are at a critical juncture in terms of the battle between the bulls and the bears. Somewhat flat day here on the dollar index, barely moving here, but again, continuing our trend here to the downside. If I head on over to the daily chart, you can see a bunch of volatile candles here printing over the last week or so on dollar index. Not big shakes to rotate on, risk rotating on, nor is it rotating off, right? It's just the market is really confused. One minute they want to be risk on, next minute they're rotating risk back off, and this is going to continue until we get some clear guidance from the FOMC, from company earnings, and markets feel a little bit more comfortable. Crazy day for Fantom and Aptos. I will be covering Quantum Miami, so make sure you've turned on the subscribe button. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and in the free Telegram group for live updates based on what happens. Be very, very careful if you're trading on the short term. If you've got long-term portfolio, then sit back and enjoy the price action. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.